Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a 3x3 collection video. Let's just get right into it. So first we're going to start with these two. Scoot the rest back. So these two are just my two Rubik's brands. There's not much to say about them except this was the first cube I ever got a couple years ago for my birthday. And honestly it doesn't turn too bad because I looped it and broke it in so much. So it's actually not that bad of a speed cube. And then we have my other Rubik's brand, which is honestly worse. I got it because it was supposedly a new version, but it actually turns kind of worse than the other one, but that's probably because of the break-in. And I can do a solve on every cube. Starting with the first Rubik's brand. $13.43, and the second Rubik's brand. That's a 12.34. Alright, next up we're going to move on to my main cube. This is the Mortri Tianma, X3V3 I believe. And the corner cutting on this is really good. It's a very fast cube, pretty loose. I never really have many issues except maybe for corner twisting, but that's not that bad. Now I can do a solve. $15.45. We're gonna ignore that. I'm not warmed up at all. But I do love this cube. It's very fast. It's very easy to turn. Very nice. This is my backup main. This is the Haitun Wave Rider V1. You can do a solve on this one. I'll scramble it while I talk about it. So this cube feels a bit more blocky, but it still has really good corner cutting. Again, this kind of has an issue with corner twisting, but it's not that bad, really. I didn't have issues with it when I used to main this cube. $11.12. Not bad, not bad. Now we'll move on to some of my other 3x3s. This is the Tornado V4. This one has really good corner cutting, but it's a bit slower. Corner cutting is not as bad as the other two cubes I mentioned, but this one's definitely a lot more controllable, so it definitely makes up for the lack in corner cutting. Its performance is pretty good. Its adjustment system is probably one of the best I've ever used, if I can get the center cap off. So this can all be adjusted by fingers. It's super easy to understand. You can't really see it. Yeah, it's a pretty good cube. It's just not my style. $12.04. Next up is the Rubik's Speed Cube. I got this for my birthday from my friend, and I really didn't expect it to be so good. It's a bit blockier, turning pretty similar to the Swift block, but I really like the speed. Its corner cutting is not the best, but it's actually it's pretty good. I changed my mind. It's actually pretty good corner cutting. The turning feels really nice. It's pretty smooth. It's a little crunchy. I genuinely really like this cube. It just locks up a bit. Other than that, it's a really good cube. $11.44. Next up will be all my Moyu cubes. This will be my favorite. This is the RS3M 2021 with maglev in it. This one is honestly one of the fastest cubes I've ever used. And it used to be super loud until I looped it up, and now it's a bit quieter. The noise is actually pretty nice. But this is probably one of my favorite cubes I own. Like I'd actually probably put it here here, like I would probably use it before the tornado, just because of how much I like how it turns. It's very fast, it's very smooth. Its corner cutting is so good, like especially for how cheap the cube is. I just really enjoy using this cube. It's an 11.58. My next Moyu cube is the R3M V5. This one's a bit more blocky than the R3M 2021, but this one actually, it turns like just as well. Its corner cutting is really nice. This one has, if you look under the hood, this one has quarter to core magnets, unlike the R3M 2021, which just gives it a bit more of a natural magnetic feeling, in my opinion. It does turn a bit slower than the R3M 2021, but that's not a huge deal breaker. I did main this for a little bit. It's a 1041. And my last Moyu cube I'm talking about is the Super R3M, or the R3M 2022. This one, I over-lubed when I got it, because I got this closer to when I started cubing. And it keeps getting these weird marks, but that's probably my shelf. Its corner cutting is really nice though. I can't use this much anymore because I made it really slow and gunky, and I can't really clean it out anymore. So this one's a bit bad. Other than that, it turns really nice. It's pretty smooth, good corner cutting. Just make sure you don't over-lube it. Now we got my first magnetic speed cube. This is the GAN 356M. This one has more of, I would say, a tactile feel, but also pretty blocky. This is actually a surprisingly good cube for how budgeted it is, especially for GAN standards. Its corner cutting it's pretty good. It's not the smoothest corner cutting, but it corner cuts pretty well. You can see it'll still do those corner cuts. The turning actually has a really nice feel, which I can't say for most GAN cubes because I'm not a huge fan of GAN. Just their feeling isn't for me, but the feeling of the 306M is really nice for me. We can do the solve now. I messed up one of my F2L pairs, but that could have been pretty good if I didn't mess that up. Next we'll go to the Diane cubes. This is the Tengyun version 1. One of the quietest cubes out there. I'm not a huge fan of the turning anymore. I used to use this for one-handed and blindfolded, but more recently I've been using this for one-handed and the Tornado for blindfolded. But this one's still great turning even though it's an older cube, and it's super quiet. Like, listen. I'll do the solve. And this is the Tengyun version 2. I like the turning of this one actually way better than version 1. And honestly, somehow the version 2 is almost quieter, which I didn't know when I bought it. So the version 1 was quieter out of the box, but overall this one has stayed quieter, which is really nice for cubing in the car or whatever. But the corner cutting is super nice. This one has adjustable magnets, unlike the version 1, which quite a few of these cubes have adjustable magnets, and I forgot to point them out. But this one has pretty easy to figure out ones, just 1, 2, 3. And honestly, I love the turning of this way more than the version 1. It's a bit more blocky than how this one felt, which was more, I don't know how to describe it, kind of buttery, kind of just more smooth. But I do prefer this one more. Corner twist. $12.99. My last Diane cube of the video is the Guhong Pro 54mm. I actually really like this cube. It's not as quiet as the Tengyans, but it's still fairly quiet, and the smaller size makes it really nice for one-handed. Its speed is pretty good for that too. I really like the feeling of this cube. It's very light. It's very smooth, honestly. And it's just way better than you'd expect for the price that I bought this at. $13.46. Now this is the stickered Yushin Little Magic. This is not magnetic. Ignore the chip in the sticker. I don't know how that happened. This one is a very loose feeling, like faster cube. I got this one actually specifically because it was stickered, because I just had none in my collection, and this actually turns really well. And the second one is the Little Magic Magnetic, and this is a stickerless version, and you wouldn't expect it to turn so different, but it actually does. This one's way slower, feels a bit tighter actually, and honestly it turns a bit worse than the Little Magic. So we can do ourselves separately, but these are both pretty good budget option cubes. But honestly, if you can, I would do this one, but add some magnets, because this one feels weird. Do the solve on the stickered Little Magic. Once again, kind of messed up the F2L pairs on that one. The 17.3 is not that good. Now the stickerless Little Magic, give it a good scramble. I just got PLL skip into a 1220. I messed up the cross on that one too, but it was not a bad solve. And the last normal cube we have is the Chi Warrior M. This one I unboxed in my $3 mystery cube video, one of my favorite videos I've ever made on the channel. And this honestly doesn't turn as bad as you'd expect for a cube of its price. It's obviously not good, it's not magnetic, you can see. But the corner cutting is pretty good, it's pretty fast, it's really loud. Like honestly, it's blowing out my eardrums. But other than that, it's a really good budget cube. I think you can get this one on Amazon. I've seen a few beginners use it, and it's never been that bad. Even unlubed, it's really not bad. I mixed up my PLO, but it's a 1640. Probably could have been better if I didn't mess up my PLO. Now we're going to move on to the special cubes. I'm not going to be doing solves on all of these because these will take too long, but this is my Rubik's Squish Cube. I can just do some patterns on this. So this is just a Rubik's Cube. The turning is pretty rough, but you can see it's squishy. So the outside is made of foam, so you can squish it. It's pretty soft. You can throw it down, nothing will happen to it. I don't know what happened to this part either. That just kind of appeared there one day. I don't know if it was like that out of the box, but it kind of sucks. The turning isn't very good, but you can't expect much from the Squish Cube. And on the inside, believe it or not, it's not all squished. There's actually some plastic on the inside there. If you can see that. Focus the camera. You can't really see it on my camera. My camera's quality's too low, probably. But there is plastic on the inside there for the actual turning. Next is the GAN I Carry. It's just a normal 3x3, but this is a smart cube. This one's one of their budget smart cubes, but it actually turns really well. Really fast, really good corner cutting. Actually, it's genuinely a good cube that I would play with if it wasn't electronic. But I'll do a solve on this one because it's just a 3x3. $14.26. Yeah, I got a few lockups, but other than that, pretty good cube. Next up, this is the Shangshou Shiny Cube, I think it's called, or the Metallic Cube. This one is magnetic. Its turning is a bit blockier, but still a bit tactile. Once again, ignore this corner. I have no idea how that got so scratched up and dirty. But honestly, this corner cuts pretty well, and I really like the feeling of this. This one's a bit tougher to solve, actually, because of how it reflects. Like, believe it or not, but it's pretty fun to solve, actually. This is called the Chi Jelly Cube, based off of the Warrior W, I believe. And this one turns just about the same. It's a bit, like, faster, a bit lighter, it feels like, just because of the different plastic type. It's actually a really fun collector's item to have in your collection, just because it's such a cool looking cube. It can be displayed in a window, and the way light kind of reflects through it, if you see like the morning sun through it, is actually a really cool. And it's like $5, so honestly a really cool find. This one is the Rubik's 50th anniversary cube. Basically just a better recreation of the 80s cube. And it feels actually really cool. It's a really cool collector's item. I really like this gold instead of yellow. And it doesn't turn good, but it could turn way worse, actually, since it's a recreation of the 80s cube. But this is actually one of my favorite collector's items. I usually keep it in its little compartment. It looks like this. So I always keep it displayed like this on my shelf. So I'll put it back there like that. And the very last one is the Disney 100th anniversary cube. So this one's a pretty cool one. It doesn't turn too bad, actually. Corner cutting is actually surprisingly good for something like this. But this one's cool because it has just the main side, but then it has Mickey, Snow White, Elsa, Simba, and Woody, instead of just normal colors. So that actually means that the centers are directional. So if you get the centers wrong, you actually have to use an algorithm to fix them. It's like, it looks pretty weird. But this is probably one of my favorite picture cubes I have. It's actually a pretty fun one, but I also kind of keep it displayed in its box. It kind of looks like this. You display it like this, and then the top gets put on. And then I kind of display them next to each other, kind of stacked actually like this. And it looks really nice on my shelf. Well, anyways, that was my whole 3x3 collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you again in the next one, whenever that one may come out. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.